Welcome everybody back to the Double Foul podcast with Southern Cowboy Dale Davis and Caden Lemon.
When life gives you lemons.
Sure.
So we have a big show today. A lot to talk about. A lot of late breaking news. Breaking news today, actually. NASCAR has reinstated Noah Gregson.
It's funny. I didn't think that was the one you were going for, but I guess both have me feeling equally some kind of way. Although this one is fair, little bastard should be reinstated, so I'm fine with that. But I'd also be fine if he just, effed off forever.
And we didn't even get him in it, Dale. We didn't even get in him in
You can say bastard.
Yes, you did.
And you can say that. That's not bad.
I mean, to each his own,
that's not bleep worthy.
Okay.
Yeah, bastard's fine.
Okay, well,
Ass damn hell and bastard's fine.
Okay, well, I mean, since you had said all three of them at the same time in one go, I'm not going to worry about it now.
Now I won't even do the George Carlin bit, but
Yeah, Noah Gregson is getting reinstated after 3 months.
Whatever it was, I
think it was about.
I buy the story that he just said, you know what, get me out of this 42 car. Like, he was suspended anyway, but when they said that it was a mutual parting of ways, I'm like, I buy that. He wanted the hell out of that 42. Bad for them, bad for him.
Yeah. I wonder why he would want out of the 42 though.
There's something I've been thinking, though, ever since Hocevar made his second start and ran top 20. I thought it was the car. I thought it was the car and not Bragson having a skill issue.
He's got a skill issue, but when the 43 is doing a heck of a lot better now.
Oh,
and so is the
43
because the 42 is running top 20 with a driver who has barely even made a cup start, and
the 42 staying on the lead lap and running well, so that's good to see.
The guy who's in. It'll be fourth start possibly this week.
Yeah, because he has that one start at St. Louis, and then he's been in the car the last 2 weeks. So yeah, this will be Kosovar's fourth start in the Cup Series.
I used to hate that.
Yeah, they grow up so fast. I've got kind of an Uncensored thing going on with him, where I used to not like Cindric. Then I started to like him. Now I don't care. Hocevar, really couldn't stand him, but he won me over. You can win me over. You can always win me over.
Unless your name is Noah Gregson.
Unless your name is Noah Gregson or Joey Logano to a lesser extent, but you can win me over.
There's talks that Hocevar may make the jump early and completely skip the Xfinity Series. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, the Cup Series, the Cup cars and the trucks are the two that handle the most similar. But at the same time, I mean, you need to really hone your craft in the Xfinity Series to be ready for the Cup Series.
That's exactly what I keep saying with Zane Smith as well, because they're both looking at making a jump. I think they need a year in Xfinity.
Bill Jr. can't keep a lid on anything. He's either spoiled the fact that Hocevar's getting the Colic ride or trying to throw off the scent of Hocevar going to JRM.
Or Hocevar going to Spire, because that's the other big one.
Yeah, that's the other thing, possibly. And Zane Smith is just not a ride available unless they want to put him in the second Rick Ware car. Rick Ware has 2 cars, and they've got an alliance with RFK next year.
Unless for whatever reason Stewart Haas keeps the 4-car team, not the 4-car, the 4-car team.
The 10 and the 41, right?
Yeah,
they're gonna.
I get maybe Zane Smith go to the 10 potentially.
I think that'd be great for him. I think it'd be great for that team.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, I still think a year or 2 in Xfinity is almost necessary.
Okay, I would just say at the very least he should do like as many Xfinity races as he can, but also run full time in Cup. That wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, like do a kind of pull a Kyle Busch or a Ty Gibbs this season. If they're at the same track, then go for it. Go for the Xfinity Series for sure.
Absolutely.
But don't go to Seattle when they're racing in Atlanta in the Cup Series.
Tell you what, you're going to do all the Xfinity races, but you're not doing Daytona or Talladega. You're not doing standalone races. So that's what I would do. The funding's there. I mean, we talk about this as if it can just be done, but Well, we know Zane Smith has a lot of Ford support. That's why it's like, oh yeah, he's getting a ride. He's getting a ride. Like Ford's all over Zane Smith, just like Toyota's all over John Hunter.
Yeah. Also, some breaking news. Yesterday, Mountain Dew's coming back as a sponsor. Not necessarily Pepsi, but I think it was the 31 car of college has landed a deal with Food City that is going to have Mountain Dew as the primary sponsor.
Pretty sick paint scheme. I saw it.
So to see Mountain Dew at least as a one-off comeback is nice to see.
That's cool.
Yeah. There's certain cars we should just have.
God, y'all were
flying the sport. We should have a Tide car and a Mountain Dew car running every week.
Mountain Dew, Sunny D, and Tide. Absolutely have. Absolutely have.
Just don't mix those three together. I heard it doesn't taste good.
Oh, God. I don't know. I mean, 2016 called, I guess. But yeah, I mean, good for them. I mean, good for them for sure. And the car doesn't look that bad. It's got a white hood and the Mountain Dew logo, and then it kind of goes like, not a gradient, but like it goes from white to lime green to dark green.
It reminded me, part of it that I saw reminded me of that 2013 fall Talladega Mountain Dew car Dale Jr. drove. The one he should have won in before Austin Dillon hit the fence on the backstretch.
2013.
We bring Pepsi and Mountain Dew back as full sponsors. Huh?
Pepsi cars were always so sick. The last Jeff Gordon Pepsi car was so cool.
Bring back the Cola Wars.
This might just be my bias showing, but my favorite Jeff Gordon Pepsi car is the one he drove in the 2009 Aaron's 499 at Talladega.
Oh, the throwback Pepsi, yeah, that raced like 7 laps before it got destroyed. But yeah, it was a nice car. Rare diecast as well.
And I say bias because that was the first race I ever watched, flag to flag. Like I watched the first lap all the way to the checkered flag, and that was the first full-length race that I've ever seen.
Today, my buddy Anthony really became a big NASCAR fan. He kind of got into it a little bit early 2008, fell off, and he was hanging out with me a lot, and we watched that Talladega race, and it was like, he's in! We got another one. It's a good race to win people over.
You converted him! Good job!
Yeah. Pepsi throwback car. And I had those, I was drinking Pepsi throwbacks at the time. I loved it. No wonder I ended up like 300 pounds back then.
Oh my goodness.
All the sugar in those Pepsi throwbacks. Holy fudge.
Hey, man.
I'm laying down while I record this, and I've noticed that when I lay down and I'm relaxed, I want to cuss more. I swear to God.
We're going to make that a hashtag on this show. Hashtag save the bleep.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, it was like Shannon Sharp calling Stephen A. Skip today. He stopped himself one time. He screwed up and called him Skip again, and on the second time he stopped himself.
Skid. So,
football podcast.
Okay, now to get into the juicy stuff. The Truck Series, Christian Eckes. Did you see that 3-wide move, Dale?
I saw the finish, and that's the only thing I saw of the race was the finish, the last 2 laps. And,
that finish was probably the finish of the season for the Truck Series.
Definitely. It's been a pretty lackluster year for trucks, not going to lie.
It
in my
has.
opinion. My interest is, I was all gung-ho about Milwaukee and IRP and all this stuff, and I'm just like, I don't feel like watching it. And newsflash, I'm not watching the Bristol truck race because there's a Thursday night football game on. Nobody's going to watch a Bristol truck race. I might DVR it, but then again, I have to work the next day. So
trucks at Bristol, it's only going to be a wreck fest. I mean, what else could you ask for?
That should be fun. I love trucks at places like Martinsville and Bristol and IRP.
I love trucks at Talladega because that always produces a weird winter.
Oh, that's one I won't miss. That is one I will definitely watch and stream. Trucks at Talladega coming up.
You didn't bring up this other bit of breaking news that NASCAR is bringing the stage off.
That's the one I was hoping he'd bring up.
I was going to bring that up in just a minute. No more stage breaks at road courses, at least for the rest of this year, because of the playoffs.
Here's what's annoying, right? They were like, well, Watkins Glen was boring. Let's bring stage breaks back. I was at the Charlotte Roval last year, and it was by far the worst race of the season, and it had stage cautions.
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe they're just self-aware that their car sucks on road courses.
Make a deal with you. We can do stage cautions at Charlotte in a couple weeks as long as we race on the oval, and then I'll go. But as of now, I'm not going to that race.
No, I mean...
that race was horrible with the cautions last year. The cautions, if anything, I think it made that race worse because you had people driving over each other constantly.
Yeah, I mean... road courses got strung out for sure, but they saw that coming when they did away with the stage breaks. They saw that coming.
Look, Indy was a great race. COTA was a great race. Great races happen. Bad races happen. Watkins Glen was a bad race. It happens. Like
Elma was a good race. Hot take there.
Sonoma, it was better than last year, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Slightly better. But Sonoma's been mid for a while. It's not just this car. Sonoma's sucking goes all the way back to like 2018, if we're being honest.
Well, 2018 as a whole year kind of sucked because of the air.
Dude, 2018 for the first 17 races was awful, and then Chicago hit, and the rest of 2018 is insanely memorable.
Man, I think Chicago was the one where Junior was going, slide job!
Yes. And for the rest of the year, stuff was happening constantly. It was a pretty dull first half of the year.
Yeah, and then you had the freaking Daytona race where Ricky Stenhouse, I'm trying to not use his nickname, just decided to go ham and wreck the field twice.
Yeah,
and he still didn't win.
Look, the stage cautions on road courses, like, give me a damn break, man. Like, just leave it. Why? And not only that, they made the restart box suck too.
Dude, what are they thinking? In the chicane?
It's hard to find a place to put a restart box on that track.
I think to restart, they need to go the oval way.
That's what I was
think they should just keep going that way?
Yes.
Use the normal box. It saves us the hassle of people having to go through the chicane on the start.
Exactly. And see, I mean, now you're going to have people desperate trying to pick up positions late in the race, and they're going to keep running over people, and they're just going to be caution after caution after caution.
My idea was move the restart box to when they just come out of turn 4 on the oval, but then again, it's like, all right, green flag, go. Oh, here's turn for the chicane. Like, there's really no good way to do it, and that's why one of the many reasons I'm like, the Roval has had a lot of great moments. It was necessary for the time. It's been fun. It can go away now.
Here's something that's kind of interesting. Here's an idea that's kind of interesting, but at the same time, kind of not a good idea at the same time. Put the restart zone coming off turn 2.
Hell, Lord, they can't run a whole lap before they get back around, can they?
I mean, you got that long back straightaway, then you got that bus stop, and then you come back around, and you're already full speed by the time you get to the front stretch chicane.
Here's the deal. Unless somebody gives me a $20 ticket with a good seat, I'm not going to the Roval.
I would.
Stay home.
I mean,
I can't go to Bristol. I want to go to Bristol, but I can't. I just
Yeah.
accepted that it's smarter to stay home. So I'll just stay home for that, stay home for Charlotte, and then go to Martinsville at the end of the year.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, it's so hard because, I mean, if they did away with that chicane on the front stretch, it'd be a little bit easier maybe. But because they have that chicane, it's just so hard to find a restart zone.
Yeah, it's got to be road coursey, so we needed that chicane. I wonder if when they go back to the oval, will they leave the chicane there or just cover it with turf? I don't know.
It's like that ridiculous chicane at the Daytona road course. They added just for NASCAR because the Rolex 24 cars don't use that chicane.
I fought them. I was against that too. Like in the race, it didn't hurt anything. It just seemed kind of silly.
And
like, this shouldn't be here.
I mean,
but they're like, well, the car can go too fast because in NASCAR now, if a car goes fast, that's bad. We can't have car go fast.
I guess they're going to try to use Ryan Preece flipping as an argument.
Do you remember the first Daytona road course, they made him run the high downforce package. It was a 750 engine package, but the rest of the car was like the 550 high downforce package. So, oh, we gotta make him slower. Daytona fast, and I'm just like, dude, stop, get help.
Ain't no way. So we got through all the latest breaking news, I do believe. Now back into the truck series. Christian Eckes wins after a very wide move. Matt Crafton and Matt DiBenedetto eliminated in the round of 10, I think.
Did Matt DiBenedetto cry again?
I don't know, but he will not win a I also have that Matt DiBenedetto will not win a championship in the number 25 Rackley Motorsports Chevrolet.
To be fair to him, I don't think anybody was going to win a championship in that thing, but good effort.
I mean, at least he has a win in it, so I mean, he can have. He can have that.
Yeah, a win that belongs to Brett Holmes.
Yeah. It was so hard. I mean, I don't remember exactly what happened last year because I know where it happened. It was at Talladega for sure. I don't remember exactly what happened. Was it a caution came out?
They threw a caution and instead of score 10 feet from the line and scored Matt Benedetto the winner, even though Holmes hit it first. You know, here's an idea. Off turn 4, no more caution. There's no point.
Yeah. Remember that stupid overtime line they used to use? Bring that back, but just say, hey, if they hit this line on the white flag lap, we're not throwing a caution.
I agree with that. I completely agree with that.
Put it out of like turn 4 on every lap. Or on every track.
Yeah, like 3/4 of the way down the backstretch, you hit that line, we're not throwing a caution, no matter what.
I agree with that.
Yeah, because not like anyone's going to come around and hit him anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Places like Talladega, we've seen them stop everybody. It's like checker flag. When you get to turn 2, stop and turn around and come back. Like you've seen them do that before, where they don't even let you go down the backstretch after you've taken the checkered. The wreck might be messy. So... track's that big, it's not a problem.
Well,
exactly. Because their stupid rules robbed Brett Holmes of his one career win.
NASCAR's stupid rules robbing people of what they deserve? You're kidding. It never happens.
Right? It's certainly not.
Dude, we got 8 weeks of playoffs left. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
There'll be more.
Yeah,
stupid rules are Truex.
Oh, poor Truex.
We'll get to it.
Yeah.
In the Xfinity Series, John Hunter Nemechek wins I have on my notes. I'll let you guys see on YouTube. Right there. JHM, if you say JHM wins a boring race, that race was boring after it got strung out.
And it's a tale of 2 races, the first 100 laps and the last 100 laps. And the first 100's like, man, this is crazy. Stuff's happening. This is wild. We're going to the playoffs next week. Stuff's happening. And then it just, every competitive race-winning car got taken out except Nemechek.
Exactly. Yeah.
It was another Michigan situation.
I didn't find the race that boring at all, actually.
Well, if you watch the first 100 laps and sleep through the last 100, yeah, you wouldn't find it boring.
I was watching the last 100. I didn't think it was that bad.
I was struggling on my stream. I was literally falling asleep. I had kicked back on my bed, had my headset, and I was talking, but I was dozing off.
Yeah, I was only able to stay awake because I was chatting in Dale's stream.
I guess I was more excited at the prospect of seeing Kligerman do well.
Yeah, I do feel bad for Riley Herbst, as shitty as he as lame as he is as a driver. I do feel bad for him.
Let's see, 19 minutes even. How about that?
19 minutes in before he had to start sleeping.
So you guys just brought it up, so I'm gonna go ahead and segue into it. Parker Kligerman in the playoffs as the regular season ends. The playoffs begin. Kligerman is in. Hurst is out.
The best race of his year so far, in my opinion.
Yeah, talking about Kligerman.
Because they talked about how they've gotten a lot of great finishes, but they don't run well throughout the race. They never get stage points, and then boom, they're top 5, top 10 both stages, and top 5 late in the race.
You know,
Finish there.
I really think that if he could have gotten lucky and gotten a late caution and nailed the restart, I really think Brandon Jones could have maybe taken the win away from JHN.
Perhaps I was worried about Parker because it's like clear you're gonna make it, and then he was like getting loose and sliding side.
That's something I was thinking the entire time. Like, why are you running so hard? He ran Austin Hill, I think, up the track.
I think big picture. Even a guy like look at Darlington. Look at what Tyler Reddick said at Darlington. You know how wild Tyler Reddick can be behind the wheel. We've seen it over and over. At Darlington, he was like, I was not going to get to Larson and take myself out. I was committed to not doing that.
Well,
and that would have been a very Reddick thing to do, but he's like, I'm not doing that to playoffs. I think big picture, second place with all these points we got tonight is worth keeping right now. And then it was rewarded because he won Sunday.
Now my playoff predictions are starting to age poorly. I blame Toyota because it's all.
Yeah, a couple tire failures are blowing up my bracket. That's literally the only thing messing up my bracket. That and the speed that Blaney has all of a sudden.
And McDowell not doing well.
I had McDowell out first round, so.
Yeah, that's all I have for Xfinity is Kligerman and Herbst. I really wish it could have come to a closer battle than it did. Nothing of anyone's fault. Just a really unfortunate circumstance for Riley Herbst on a restart.
Sandy Smith ruined that whole damn race too.
Yeah, I really wish we could have seen a really good battle. I think a good battle between the 98 and 48 would have kind of helped the entertainment aspect of the last 100 laps.
Yeah, it was just everything was a foregone conclusion.
I just like watching drive.
Yeah, for sure.
Bristol home track stuff. We got Chad back. W.
So on to Cup Series. Green flag is out. We run 5 laps, and Martin Truex Jr. runs out of air in a tire. I don't know what was going on. The Goodyear said there was a puncture in it, so
I saw the picture.
As if it was gradually leaking air. That's why I worded it like that. It runs out of air instead of just blows.
He's out of air.
But
I have soundboard on mobile now, so I can do this for Truex.
Another NASCAR chaos. Martin Truex Jr.
Yeah, I mean, dude, the regular season champion is 7 points below the cutoff line in the first round.
All right, someone brought up an interesting point. Let's just give the regular season champion a bye through the first round.
No.
That's been proposed in the past. Before they even started like having playoff points carried over in like 2015, there was discussion of that. You would think regular season champ would basically have a bye with all the points he should have, but they blew through those points. I mean, all of them.
I don't agree with that at all. I mean,
it's just they'll get them back if they get through Bristol because all the points carry over. All the playoff points.
Because I mean,
what with it? They should be in at least. They should at least be allowed to move on through the round. Like they shouldn't be facing elimination after having that good of a season in the first round for stuff that isn't even their fault.
Arlington was kind of their fault, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I think they got a loose wheel or something like that, and that just completely set them behind the 8 ball.
And it just reminds me of Joe Logano 2015. You know, Kenseth kills him at Martinsville, and it's like, and Kenseth himself even says, Joey will win next week. They're fast right now, and they were really fast. And then boom, blows a tire early in Texas, finishes like mid-20s laps down, and then it rains at Phoenix, and Dale Jr. wins and Joey's out. So it can happen that fast.
I am still to this day triggered by the fact that Dale Jr.'s last career win is a rain-shortened race at Phoenix.
It was good karma because he got screwed at Talladega, so they owed him.
He did. I mean,
I take it. I'll take it.
Yeah, but damn. He
was running third anyway. He was a top 3 car that night.
Yeah, but still, man. It would. I guess it wouldn't have stung so bad if he had gotten the win that he. I think. I'm pretty sure he did get the win at Talladega, but
Yeah.
I mean, just my opinion. I
It
think
would have been in that Mountain Dew car he never won in.
yeah,
the Diet
really.
Mountain Dew car. The
He
cursed Diet Mountain Dew car.
he
I bring up
never
that
won.
Kansas playoff race all the time from 2014.
That's what he gets for being sponsored by diet stuff.
Drank Diet for so long, I
I
can't remember what the
mean,
real stuff tastes like.
what do you want for it? I love the taste of Diet Dew. What do you want for
That's what they'll
it?
call.
I missed that commercial. Bubba blows the tire. Here we go. Here we go with all the. You know what? I'm gonna point something
Last
out.
one in, first one out.
I'm gonna say something, and I'm gonna vent for a second. Have you guys, have you, Dale and Caden, noticed that the majority of the people that hate on Bubba Wallace and say last one in, first one out, are a majority Hendrick fans? Have you guys noticed that?
Yeah, they like Larson. Sorry, I'm yawning. They like Larson.
I'm not saying that it's all Hendrick fans, but probably a majority of them is Larson fans that only have 5 gear and not 42.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying the words didn't come out of my mouth. It's just up to them to interpret it. But I'm
a
not
Larson fan, and I
saying
still like
anything.
Bubba.
But I really think that people need to readjust how they see Bubba Wallace.
It's so sad because this is something like, let's be honest, there's a section of NASCAR fans that have been toxic from day one. Because, like, NASCAR fandom in the 90s could get pretty toxic with the Jeff Gordon is gay hate and all that stuff. Because I'm old enough to remember that.
Yeah.
Jeff Gordon's gay, you know, things like that. It's like it's always been a little toxic. But
yeah, because of the Rainbow Warrior thing.
Yeah, and then, like, just in the modern, and we're not getting political. Let me preface this though.
We're not getting political. This is not a political.
In the modern political climate, though, people have found it acceptable to just be out and open and extreme about their true feelings.
The only reason why I can understand Kyle Larson fans not liking Bubba Wallace is Las Vegas.
Last year. Yeah, because I'm a pretty big Bubba defender, and I said on stream, like, yeah, he's gone for a week, and he should be. I was like, number 2.
And yet, for Vegas thing by now, because it was a dumb mistake.
It was a mistake, for sure.
Larson started, Bubba overreacted, he was wrong. He was more wrong for that than Larson was for making the mistake that triggered the whole.
Exactly.
And yet I don't feel about Elliott despite him hooking a driver I despised.
I've a picture on my Facebook of when Larson won Vegas in 2021, his first win after coming back, and Bubba's the first one there to hug him in Victory Lane. They don't talk anymore. I know that. They do not talk. They do not like each other. Coda this year, if you go back and watch some footage, it looks like Larson tried to hook Bubba like he did him, but he missed, if you remember in Coda.
You talking about when Denny Hamlin spun Larson?
Yes, and there was like a big, mix up, and then you see Larson go to swerve at Bubba, and he cut across Hamlin, right?
Yep.
What happened?
Y'all didn't see it, but you'll see it on the when this podcast goes live and uploaded. I did the air quote thing when Denny spun Larson.
Yeah.
Because that's what everyone claims happened. And Caden, I'm not hating on Larson at all right now. I know you're a fan of Larson. I actually like Larson. It's just that some of his fans are extremely intolerable.
Walker the local dirt track, that real racing.
As a Larson fan, we don't like those guys.
Exactly. Yeah, at the match made a Dale Jr., you still ain't as bad as Dale Jr. fans.
I'm one of the Larson fans that liked him from his 42 days.
You're not as bad as the Dale Jr. fans or the Chase Elliott fans. Chase Elliott fans are next level stupid.
Oh my God, the Chase fans!
Holy crap!
I'm gonna be bringing something up about the Chase fans here in a little bit. Some of them, I'm looking at the camera right now. I'm pointing right at the camera. Some of them, not all of them. So don't come at me with that. Not all
Good people on both sides.
You know some Chase fans, but other than that.
But I mean, it's it's like the Larson fans that only have 5 gear that bought that. I think I think the easiest way to identify said Larson fans are the ones with T-shirts and hats with the number 5 and the Gen 6 car.
You
Because
know, can somebody get me a Photoshop of the Captain America Civil War poster, but have Chase Elliott as Iron Man and Larson as Captain America, because it feels like something's brewing over there and has been for a while.
Oh boy!
hold
Oh.
on, hey, hold on, we'll get to it.
What
Yeah, Bubba blows a tire and bends the toe link, effectively ruining his day.
a beautiful car.
That was a nice car, man. I wanted to
Sweet
see that
thing,
car in
man.
Victory Lane.
My pick for that race gets completely taken out, and
Had money on him.
And then my pick to be out in the first round wins the race.
I told you Riddick wasn't going out. He's too fast. And he's making good decisions. Like these, I know it's only 2 weeks, but 2 weeks in a row, it's like, wow, these are mature decisions. He made the one mistake at Darlington and profited from it hilariously. But then he made the decision late in the race to not press the issue with Larson to not jeopardize the points.
Yeah.
And he's just, right place, right time, makes good moves on a green white checker, and boom, win. 40 fouls, 3 out of 4 at Kansas.
So we're
Three different drivers.
We're talking about the playoffs. Right now, the bottom 4 are Truex, Stenhouse, McDowell, and Bubba. McDowell is.
Bubba can still get in. I think Bubba and Truex still have a chance to get in.
Oh yeah, because
I'm looking at the guys who are in right now, and I have a hard time seeing any of them having a bad day at Bristol.
Let's see.
That's some bad luck.
I'll pull up the points real quick. I think Bubba's only out by 14 points.
I think it was 17. It went from 12 to 17.
No, 19.
Oh Lord, it's 19.
Yeah, I mean he can still get in. He
needs some help.
He needs
a Bristol race like last year, because last year's Bristol race had a lot of attrition. So
he needs some stage points for sure, but I think he can still get in. Stenhouse is 3 points behind Bubba with 22 behind the cutoff. But Michael McDowell is absolutely must win. He's 40 behind. Unless he can catch lightning in a bottle, I think McDowell is must win.
Yeah, I think it was Stenhouse. Yeah, Stenhouse is screwed. Although Bristol is one of Stenhouse's best tracks, so you never know what can happen.
Yeah, I mean one of his best non-restricted. Well,
yeah, for sure. Bristol and Kansas are 2 tracks I associate with Stenhouse, not super speedways.
Exactly. Okay. Who wants to start?
What's the topic?
Elliott versus Larson.
Okay, so Chase Elliott once again faced with the slightest inconvenience that didn't even harm his day, flips out like a little baby behind the wheel.
Okay, so I want to say one thing.
Which is really starting to detract me from him, by the way.
Yep.
I just want to say one thing. The only difference is spot on the track. The only difference between Chase Elliott and Ty Gibbs last year at Texas is the location on the track.
Right.
Other than that, there's nothing different.
Literally nothing different. Like it's equally stupid. Maybe it's not as unsafe as Gibbs, but it's equally as stupid. Exactly. Especially for a guy like Chase that's been around for a long time now.
And
you got to understand on pit road things like that happen.
And
somebody's hitting you on pit road on purpose.
Disagree with him as much as you want to. I mean, Brett Griffin came up with a good point. Drivers can't speak their minds, and it's very demoralizing and demeaning to the fans because we know what they meant to do. We know what Chase Elliott was doing. He was sending a message to Kyle Larson, "Hey, I don't like you."
I played a part in it, but equally, I think even without not being able to speak your mind, Chase is going to get out and try to lie and pass it off and be snobby.
I mean, we saw it in the Coke 600 after the Hamlin incident. I mean, he just blatantly lied.
He's just going to get out and act too good for it and talk down to you for even asking and be his usual stuck-up, snobby self. And it's really come out with the struggles he's had this year. Just what a lousy personality he has.
I thought of posting this on Twitter, but I opted not to. I think Chase Elliott is finally finding a personality as the biggest crab in NASCAR.
You know, it reminds me of when Bret Hart turned heel in 1997 in WWE, and it was like, oh, Bret's whole career, the knock on him was he can't do promos, he can't talk, he has no personality, blah, blah, blah. And then he becomes a bad guy, and he later on said that, yeah, I just started saying how I actually felt because I was bitter and I was mad, and people started to say, wow, what a great character. You know, I started to think that's the Chase Elliott career path. I'm like, oh, yeah, he's just like being who he really is now and struggling to hide it, and it's making him a little more interesting. But not for the right reasons necessarily.
This was just another incident of Chase Elliott just throwing a tantrum and overreacting to small little things.
No.
We saw this very.
He's
same
about
thing.
to be a heel with fans.
We saw the.
Not a chance. They'll blindly cheer for him no matter what.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, Chase does no wrong, right? We saw the same thing with Hamlin and Logano in the Daytona 500, where I think Hamlin swerved to miss a guy coming out of his pit box and hit Logano. And Logano just simply pulled in front of him and stuck his finger out. I don't know if it was his middle finger or his whole hand, like, hey, what the hell? And Denny pulled back in front of him and pointed out the window, like saying, hey, there was a guy coming out and pushed me into you, and Joey was fine with it.
I haven't heard the radio. I hope they quickly relayed that message to Chase, because once again, crew chiefs and especially spotters have a habit of gaslighting their driver when they were up there and saw that the other guy, he wrecked you, he did this. It's like,
I hear Truex and Spotter did that a lot.
Larson Spotter tried to do that with him and Hamlin at Kansas, the first Kansas race, and Larson was like, that's not what happened. No. It was last year. Excuse me. I'm mixing up my Kansas races. It was Kurt Busch and Larson last year. He raked you, and Larson goes, no, he didn't.
Well, thing about it is, I mean, I don't know where Chase Elliott's field of vision was, but I'm sure that down the line he saw the 6 car in the pit stop.
I just hope they told him. What happened, and he was quickly like, "Oh, I'm stupid." But apparently, I wonder because after the race, he went over and like got in Larson's window. I don't know if he was like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I freaked out," or what the hell happened, or whatever. But
I mean,
they relayed the information, and at least there was nothing came of it. Like no damage to either car, nobody got turned.
Yeah, but
came of it, but it's still just stupid. Like, dude, chill out.
We're looking at the what ifs. What if that cut down Larson's right front tire?
Yeah, well, if Chase cut his own tire down, like that would be very befitting his season for him to do something stupid like that when he's having a great run.
Yeah, for sure. But I think Chase is just frustrated because this year hasn't gone his way. Very typical for Chase to overreact when something doesn't go his way. Last year Fontana. Last year Watkins Glen, this year Kansas 2.
Yeah.
Then can hell up and go drive the car he's in and try to win a race and finish out strong.
But he had a chance on Sunday. Faded at the end. They didn't fall off bad. I think it's just like Hamlin and Reddick got really good, and Larson screwed himself on track position, and Chase just wasn't as good as the Toyotas, but he had the speed.
And then I mean, I hate to bash them, but then there's the Chase fans. Not all of them, but a good majority of them are just blind, are just sheep, and Chase is their shepherd.
Somehow more toxic than Dale Jr. fans. Like, I lived that era. It's all like, obnoxious in denial Dale Jr. fans, but they were never toxic to the level. But then again, Dale Jr. would never do the dumb crap that Chase does. Exactly. Jr. had one standout bad moment when he hooked Vickers at Daytona when Vickers deserved it. That was like Junior's one standout of like, wow, Junior, what the hell was that?
I don't even think that was particularly Junior's fault because Vickers.
Well, it wasn't, but he still gets blamed for it to this day.
I think Junior was just trying to fall in line behind. Well, I don't know. I mean, he did say he meant to wreck him though.
Oh yeah, he meant to turn him. But what the hell? Like, he went to make a pass and Vickers body slammed him into the grass. in the grass. His left side's hit grass, and that's why he was like, "Screw you," and turned right.
Harry, go on.
That's like Junior's one bad thing. Chase is like just this year alone is racking up quite a list, and then you add it up to like Bristol 2 years ago, Fontana last year.
Junior ain't never been suspended.
Yeah, Junior never got suspended. Although apparently Brian France wanted to suspend him after Talladega in 2012, but Mike Hilton talked him out of it and refused to go with it.
What do you do at Talladega 2012?
He got out and talked about how unsafe it was and how disgusted he was with the racing product at Talladega, and Brian France wanted to suspend him.
Oh, we're talking about Brian France, the guy that fines you for stating your opinion, right?
He wanted to suspend Junior, and Mike Hilton was like, "You cannot do that."
I'm looking at a Denny Hamlin picture from 2019, but I'm thinking of 2013 where Hamlin was talking about the Gen 6 car being garbage, and Brian France just fined him for no reason.
He didn't even say it was garbage. He was like, it needs some work because it was a little tough to pass. But then again, they were at Phoenix. Way to get there.
Yeah, and I mean, Brian France, like, that's just another thing that I didn't like about Brian France. He fined you for stating your opinion. Like, you're entitled to it. What are you doing?
Imagine suspending Dale Jr. Like, that would have been the end. That would have been the biggest fan revolt in history. No wonder Mike Hilton was like, dude, you cannot do that.
Yeah,
they had to talk him out of it. Like, you don't understand. Like, we always say people don't get special treatment. He might not get special treatment, but in this case, he's going to be given some grace that a lot of guys wouldn't be given because you can't suspend Dale Jr. for voicing his opinion. He was hurt and he was mad. Junior even said, he was like, I was concussed and I knew it and I was hurting. I was upset about it. So I just went off.
Well, I mean, then after that, I mean, Junior lost 2 races of his career.
So
I mean, I think he had every right to vent and just go.
Yeah, anybody, he's not the only. We hear guys get out of Talladega every year say the same thing. You're going to probably hear it in a few weeks.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of, after Daytona, I'm kind of excited for Talladega.
Yeah, this could be something special. I thought last Talladega fall race was really good. This could be one for the ages, I think.
I hope no one's window neck gets sheared off.
Unless it's Blaney that he's allowed to keep racing without it. So.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe.
No, I mean, get off by flipping though, so he wouldn't be able to race.
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know, Dale. Maybe he'll win the race twice.
Time All-Star winner Ryan Blaney.
Man, that was such a botch. That ending of the All-Star race last year was just failure.
That's okay. This year was a success, but also a failure at the same time. It's just like, man, these cars just need, I don't know what. Just do something. Quit like doing little fixes to fix they're talking about repaving Wilkesboro, which I'm okay with because it's necessary. But a 400 lap race with this car on a repaved North Wilkesboro might go down as like the worst Cup race of all time. So we got to do something.
Probably the only good race on a freshly new paved track that I can think of, borderline speaking, was the 2011 Daytona 500.
2012 Kansas fall race.
Hey, I want to ask something real quick.
What's up?
Where did they get the idea, or anyone else for that, of a points race at LA?
They're still talking about that.
I will smack the first person who brought that up.
You know what's sad? The LA Coliseum is the best short track with the next gen car. It really is, because like the racing there's really good.
Yeah.
Just too many cars on the track.
Yeah, but thinking about it is, would there be enough room for every single car?
No. They'd have to do something to cut the field in half, I'd say. Because, like, what? They had, like, 26 in the All-Star race. Well, that's still too much. But the racing is good on that track.
It is.
It really is.
I mean,
it's just, there's not for everyone.
Are they going back in February or no?
We still don't know that. How could the schedule's still not out?
Wow. I mean,
We don't know what the hell they're doing.
They'll probably release
Montreal's being discussed. Milwaukee's being discussed.
Yeah,
like Indy is Brickyard 400's coming back. We know that.
Yeah, they'll probably release the schedule as we get closer to Phoenix.
Yeah.
Maybe just me hoping, but maybe they're discussing keeping Auto Club the way it is since short tracks are
No,
They can't.
no.
It's sold. Sold. They can't.
All that property at least on the backstretch into turn 3 is sold.
Yeah, they can't go back now.
What happened to the short track that it was supposed to be turned into?
Car happened. They quickly went, whoa, hold the phone.
Like, I mean, it's been 3 years since that was even promoted.
Yeah, they had blueprints and everything.
Whoops, we're idiots.
Maybe they realized how much money that's going to cost, and they're just like, never mind.
Probably have the money to go buy it, don't they?
Well, see, all they gotta do is just take the money that they got from the Backstreet property. I mean, that might cover a good portion of it.
Hey, take our money back and a bit more. This car fucking sucks on short tracks.
Well, that's 4505. I don't know. Hey man, we almost made it 30 minutes. Almost made it 30 minutes. But I really hate seeing Auto Club go. That was such a good track.
Yeah, what a bummer.
At least especially with this car.
Flashback to 2006 and tell somebody one day you're going to miss this place, and we'd have been like, no, it won't. This place sucks.
I don't know. I mean, maybe even more like 2009, 2010.
I remember, yeah, the 2010 race didn't go over well.
No, it didn't.
And all of a sudden in 2011, things just changed.
If I'm being honest, the only thing I remember about the 2010 race was that Jamie McMurray's pit crew member jumping over Kevin Harvick's car. Do you remember that?
Oh.
And then for some reason NASCAR decided to penalize McMurray because that happened. What a stupid move.
Anyway, what the hell else happened yesterday? I don't even know what happened. Sunday, I mean.
So I'm trying to brainstorm a new segment we can do. We kind of did it like one time before, but I'm gonna rename it, kind of rebrand it a little bit. It's gonna be what the bleep are you doing? And like it's gonna be like
have someone actually say, I'll say it and you can like bleep it out for the second intro.
All right.
Like this. And now, what the fuck are you doing?
I will timestamp that.
I go first.
Go ahead, Dale.
What the are you doing is Denny Hamlin on that last restart. And I was watching him because I was watching the guys with the freshest tires to see what moves they made. And I'm like, oh, look at Denny laying back. Wow, he's really laying back. Dude, start fin. Wow. I was like, he didn't even go. Like, what the hell was that? Then I heard his explanation afterwards. And I was like, huh. Then the conspiracy theory started. He was letting Tyler Reddick win just like he did Bubba.
Yeah.
No.
He was watching the mirror, worried about Larson either running him over or laying back, as he said Larson was laying back too, and he was trying to match him to take the advantage away.
How about that Eric Jones block on the backstretch on the last lap?
Oh yeah, that sealed the win right there for Reddick. Because I said on my stream, like, here they come off too. Hamlin's going to get a run. He'll get one good shot at Reddick. Then Jones just was like, nope.
I gotta finish the best I can for this sinking ship.
Yeah,
man.
Well, it was.
I really
those guys
saw the 43 get sideways, but I
think he did. They made some contact, slight contact.
Oh yeah, they made contact for sure. But I think Hamlin knew that he was going to slide up anyway, so he kind of got off the throttle a little bit.
So on my stream, I said 4 tires went to the race. Give me 4. And then when I saw 4 guys took 2 and 1 stayed out, I was like, okay, that gives the 2 guys a chance. Because I'm like, if there's a stack up, something happens, and sure enough, Denny doesn't go. And I'm like, well, that eliminated a lot of your competition.
Let's talk about that for a minute. If that happens so scenario. Let's see. Who was the one that stayed out? Suarez stayed out.
Suarez had to stay out. Yeah.
So a scenario. Suarez is in the final 4. And we are at Phoenix. Suarez is your champion automatically because you're not going to be able to pass him even with old tires because
That's
you
why I'm
can't
going to lose
pass
my
in
mind at
Phoenix.
Phoenix if a late caution comes out and people don't do 2 tires or stay out. I'm just going to be like, what the hell? Like, you know how this works.
I got one for the Xfinity race. That first lap incident? Anyone remember the guy in that 38?
What was his name?
Was it?
I don't remember.
Was it one of the
Hold
State
on.
brothers?
No, well, he was in one of those cars. He was in the 38.
Yeah.
Nick Lights.
Yeah, what was
Lights.
he doing? He just completely ran somebody into the wall in the first lap. That's not how you make a first
It's
impression.
called a pro gamer move. I'll have you know.
It's called a NASCAR Heat 5 public lobby.
Yeah.
That's not how you make a good first impression. That was the dude's debut, and he already has wrecked someone on the first lap. He already looks like an idiot. What the hell are you doing?
He might just be an idiot. I don't know.
Very well could be just
see
that
here.
big bait.
38 was. Where we at? The 38. Dude, where did he finish?
He finished 31st.
Yeah, Nick Lights.
Yeah.
Okay. Lights with a Z. So, good job, buddy. You are officially a NASCAR Heat 5 pro gamer. You wrecked in turn 1, lap 1. Good job.
He and Natalie Decker and Haley Deegan can do a podcast together like this one, since they all just don't know what the hell they're doing.
Well, Natalie Decker for sure. I don't know about Haley exactly. I mean, a lot of times she does put herself in a bad spot, but other times she gets put in a bad spot.
I see a lot of guys. I don't know if it's because she's a chick or because she's famous, but people are just like, screw this hoe and just do whatever they want and racing with her unprovoked. I mean, yeah, she's done a lot of dumb stuff, but I see just completely unprovoked people doing stuff to her.
Nick Sanchez.
That's what I was about to say. Nick Sanchez for sure.
Dude, IRP's the only one. I can't remember who it was, but he had a reason to be pissed and he took her out. So I was like, yeah, good for you, buddy.
Good job, dude. You wrecked a girl. Congratulations. How does that make you feel?
And they say chivalry's dead.
So Dale, did you ever say what the bleep are you doing?
Yeah, it was Denny Hamlin.
Yeah. Okay. I gotta give it to Chase. Like, dude, what are you doing? Just stop. I mean, that's your teammate. I know you've had run-ins before.
Dissension.
But like when you spun out that one, an accident.
Yeah, I mean, like, what happens if Larson's not paying attention and Chase's contact sends the 5 spinning? What happens then? Another suspension, maybe? Points that you don't have? A fine, maybe?
Data didn't appear on Twitter this week. I'm shocked. You know, the Hamlin, the data would have been there.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, he's just got to calm down. I mean, he's
Chase, jealousy looks ugly on you. And Chase fans, I'm here to tell you right now, he's so jealous of Kyle Larson, it's not even funny.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
How could you not be? Because I always said, when they were both coming up, Larson was in the 42, Chase is in the 24. I'm like, I like these guys, but Larson's better. I said that from day one.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Back and watch that All-Star Open from 2016, one of the best races that nobody was at.
Oh, man, I remember that. To the line.
He sucked him around! Terrible.
And guess who won it? Kyle Larson.
I just remember, Larson had to win because we all knew Chase was going to get the fan vote. So
yeah,
the only battle Larson loses really is whenever Kyle Busch is around.
Busch, yeah, for sure. Denny Hamlin.
I said this last week, but I was never able to get that episode uploaded. At this point, the most popular driver award is just a participation trophy.
We had to get that episode up. That was a good one.
I'm hoping to get it uploaded tonight. By the way,
Double feature.
um, but yeah, my cat's.
Oh, I hate to force. I'm not trying to get to the end, but is there anything else major? I mean, other than hey, Bristol's this week, Junior's racing, races on Saturday night, which means you get an NFL Sunday without having to multitask like I usually do.
Yeah, I mean, trucks Thursday, Xfinity Friday. Dale Jr.'s going to be in the race, and then Cup Series cutoff race.
Junior's going to be in the race unless qualifying gets rained out. Remember that.
Man, rain just needs to stay away just one time.
That would be a real friggin' shame, wouldn't
Man,
it?
if that
Tired
happened,
of the damn rain.
Wasn't Junior going to run in two races?
He's running Homestead.
Oh yes, oh yeah. Is he running the same car, or are they going to bring another car?
He's running a different car because this is the Hellman's car at Bristol, and I think Homestead's a Bass Pro car or something.
Yeah, I think the one that I got. But no, I think we don't have anything else to talk about.
It was exhausted because he worked a lot today. Pick Bristol winners, I guess.
What in the hell? What is that?
What?
All that creaking.
It was just me sitting up on my bed.
Oh, I didn't know what. This whole time I thought it was like a big bag of bundled chips.
Hold on, let me get some chips.
I didn't know what that was.
So, Bristol picks. Brad Keselowski.
Caden?
Yeah, which one's this one?
Here you go. Yeah.
Caden. Excuse me, Sir Lemon.
Yeah.
Bristol pick.
Who's your Bristol pick?
Bristol pick.
Dale pick Keselowski.
I think I want to go with. Oh, it's only color I want. I think I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with an RFK car. That's what I'm going with.
Which one?
I think Brad.
Dale pick.
All right, so we got the same pick.
If not Brad, then Busher.
Okay, so you get with Busher. So who do I
Yeah, but
have?
I'll still count it as I picked both.
Who do I have? Who am I going to pick to win Bristol? Oh, man. You know what? Harvick. Give me Harvick.
Interesting.
All right. But
I know Chase
that
Elliott
is
has
the ass parts don't get to him.
As long as his
that is. We'll add that in. If the crappy ass parts and Chase Elliott don't get to him, then he win. Then he could win.
Or really ill-timed cautions, which have cost Harvick 2 wins this year.
Man, both those races should have been Kevin's for sure.
Phoenix and Darlington for sure.
I'm looking at my cat right now that's just making noise as much as he can because he's an asshole.
Or maybe he just wants attention, you fuck.
Well, I'm going to bleep that out because it sounded close enough.
Alright, well.
So, I think that's about all we have for this one.
Yeah.
With all the creaking and the cat crawling on my carpet happening in the background.
And me kicking this bag.
That sounded like someone sawing a tree.
The apple seeds in here.
Oh man, I could go for an apple right now.
Doesn't like a good apple. My Uber driver, when I got back home from Texas, gave me grapes, and I was like, you know what? I like grapes. People like grapes. Wise man once said, people like grapes.
All right then. But yeah, that is all we have for this episode of Double File. This has been a great pleasure. And this has been Double File with Southern Cowboy, Dale Davis, and Caden Lemon. Go sub to Dale Davis, get him to 1,000 subscribers, and go sub to Caden to get him to 100.
Guys, one more thing. If this goes out this week, I am premiering my biggest remix on Friday at 8:30.
Central Time?
No, Eastern Time.
Well, I don't know. You just say 8:30, and I'm in Central Time, okay?
How does it feel to be wrong your entire life? Anybody who doesn't live on the East Coast is wrong. You guys are always just behind and wrong. You don't know what time it is.
Man, I'm wrong more than I am right, so I ain't worried about it. Now you hear my cat meowing and wanting out. You can wait just a minute, dude.
We let that pussy out.
Well, right at the hour mark, man. Good job, Dale. Way to go with the timing. And with that being said, this has been Double File Restart with Southern Cowboy, Dale Davis, Caden Lemon. Go get Dale Davis to 1,000 subs. Go get Caden to 100. Check out that remix on Caden's channel, and go check out the race streams. Are you doing Xfinity and Cup, or are you gonna do all three?
Yeah, just Xfinity and Cup, since I'm not going to be there.
So go check out the Xfinity and Cup streams on Dale's channel. And with that being said, we're out.
Not.
Holla.